Hey guys, this is going to be a fairly quick rewatch. I don't have the entire file on here, but I did want to do a rewatch of of last week's tournament game on Saturday. Saturday's tournament game between Austin, who we have here as the Spanish. We've got Austin. We've got Colton as the Saracens. We've got Barzy as the Vikings. And Ethan as the Malay. On the other side, we have Nick as the Portuguese. We've got Travis as the Vikings. We've got Alex as the Spanish, which this is a weird pull right here. Alex is not normally the Spanish, and I think that there's a little bit of a struggle there because of that. And then Travis as the Vikings. We see we've got 4 minutes left before Treaty Drop right now. I'm going to be watching down over here for some stuff. But we see Alex has 47 on gold and 36 on wood. He does not need this much wood. He needs to get a ton more on wood because the rule is on water maps, he who wins the water wins the game. So that's really low. And also notice we're at 3 minutes down and there are no Alex water going on. I don't know what Alex is focusing on. Well, he's focusing on food. Okay, so he does have water stuff. It's just back here. So Alex is taking a more conservative approach by putting him back here. I personally would have wanted mine over here to help defend Nick's front. But, whatever. We see Travis is ready to go. And Taylor is also ready to go. Austin, I want to pull up Taylor's. Taylor's got 74 and 53, so that's perfect. And he's got a mountain of Taylor's looking good. Travis looks really weird. Travis, your economy's terrible. Oh, that's so bad. You need to get a lot more wood and a lot more food. So, these are the controversial transport ships that we will slowly watch. So, there's 2 minutes here. And again, I don't have all of the recording. It's fine. On the other side, Austin's got 32 and 39. So, Austin's getting 1 billion trade cards. Holy cow, he's really getting... Man, Austin, we got to get this number to happen sooner. Because you got 2 minutes left and, no military going on. And Taylor's got a mountain of them. Now, we're going to see that it's not going to work out for him. So this is what we're talking about right here. In the past, we haven't outlawed this. Treaty has not dropped. He's got 1 minute left, and he's sending them back. Now, we'll go to Taylor's side. Because you will see that Taylor's going to flag this. Taylor sees this. We'll even put on the fog of war. So, Taylor does see this, but there's 1 minute left. These need to stay over here. In the past we haven't blatantly outlawed it. It's kind of been an unspoken agreement that you don't do this, but it's never been explicitly said that you don't put transport ships in the back. And some people even have talked about doing it, and we've never shut it down. That's kind of part of why I really struggled with taking a side on this. But the more that people have spoke about it, the more that I just feel like, it's just not fair. So he follows this along. Come on. So this right here, this would be considered against the gentleman's agreement. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Treaty drops. His ships kind of go back for a second. I think that this one also has dudes in it as well. But regardless, he on Treaty Drop, drops dudes in the back. Wasn't explicitly said. Over here on the front, Taylor starts to establish. We're going to turn the fog of war off. So Taylor starts to establish dominance over here. But the issue is, we got that going on over there. This guy's over here. I wonder if he's going to drop over here as well. Probably is. And yeah, so he drops dudes over there. That was sneaky. Oh, that was big sneaky. So Taylor essentially starts doing this, but Austin has so many docks that I don't think it made that much of a difference. So now now Austin, I believe, is rolling. Let's look at Austin. Well, I'm building it. Oh, there he goes. So he's got one castle up. And if he had done it now, it would have been, totally, even at Treaty Drop, those guys, if he had put those ships over here and just shot them back, he could have got along the edge. At this point, I don't think anyone would have any issues with that. And, he could have just dropped right here. But he didn't. And so now he has this castle up over here as well. So this game's going to drop any second now. I'm surprised it hasn't yet. But that was essentially because Ko builds multiple bases on their map and destroys them. But the big loss also happened down over here. We see that Ethan just kind of establishes water dominance while Travis gets wrecked. So, I feel bad for especially Taylor, because you can see Taylor was ready and going. It just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough juice. I think a couple of big things that would have made a difference. I think that all of these purple guys, because they have to sail all the way around before being effective, I think that having them up here would have been pretty big. Not to say that they would have won, because actually I consider Ethan one of our water specialists. He's pretty dang good on water. I think that Austin's our best water guy, personally. But, it's all a debate. And Taylor was rocking. But they go on and lose the game. So that happened. It is what it is. So in the future, when we look at our maps, right down here, bottom right-hand corner, this middle water section is fair game for anyone to have ships anywhere. But if I'm on this team, the team on the bottom, this guy here, before Treaty Drop, my transport ships can't cross this line. I'd even be okay with, at Treaty Drop, dropping on the front. I feel like this is all no man's land. So does Treaty Drop. If you've got a transport ship right here, Treaty Drops, go pop, pop, you're in, fine. By me, that's fine by me. But being sneaky and sneaking around the backside when they aren't able to defend it, because they really do need to have their military units in the front. Your treaty guy, if he had chased those 4 ships, boom. Because he needed to have, probably 5-10 ships to have that killed before these dudes were landed. And if 5 or 10 ships aren't here, Taylor already eventually loses on the water, but it would have been that much worse. But I think it was just a big of a deal that Alex built all of his water stuff in the back. This is fine to have in the back. Would have been better to have one in the back and then another one over here. God bless you, Nick. You're a beautiful farmer. I'm glad that you played. GG to all. In the future, I hope that clarifies our stance on the gentleman's agreement as it applies to transport ships. So don't sneak around on the backside and then castle drop a couple of castles when they can't defend it. That's where it's not fair. So, all right, adios.